So talented. Oh, thank you. I don't know if I'm talented or whether I just really like it. Sometimes when you like stuff, it works out really well. Hugs from Houston. Hey, Houston. I think Houston's where my piping bags come from. I think somebody told me that they come from Houston, a company called Truly Mad Plastics. Teeny Swirl, hi. Oh, thank you. Learned a lot. Good. Nice to learn from each other, right? Well, let's hope I can help you with that today, too, if you're cooking up a storm with me. I'm bored. No, I'm not bored. I'm never bored. I never have enough hours in the day, although part of that, hi, part of that, do you have your own, oh, no, I've never had a bakery, no. I'm just baking at home. I do have culinary background, though. Michelle, Ashley, hello from Chicago. Hey, Patricia. Patricia the Disha, half yard. Okay, well, I think I'm going to get started with this because those people that did want to come on board at 1 o'clock should hopefully be here by now. You're in Alabama? Oh yeah, COVID. Maybe things are going to change. Hi. I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia. Amarillo, Texas. Hi. Culinary High School. Favorite things to do. Today we're making cupcakes, but I'm doing it... we're doing a class, which I've never done before, on TikTok. I used to teach cooking, but I've never taught on TikTok, and I don't know how it works because I can't really see you. So I'm going to go slow with things. I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to try and do it in real time, hoping that you guys can sort of catch up. Hi from Hawaii. I don't know if I will always be able to respond to your comments, but at the end of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang around and I'll do questions and answers, and we'll talk about what we did today and any other just questions that you guys have for me at the end of this we'll do. So we're going to start by making the very, very basic American buttercream recipe. And if you go on Wilton.com, you can find this recipe. I've got nothing to do with Wilton. And quite frankly, this is not my favorite tasting recipe, but it's a really good one to learn the basics to start with. So it's called American Buttercream, and it can be made of one of two ways, but today we're going to make it in probably the simplest way. That sounds good? Good. Okay, so we're going to make it in the simplest way. And so I'm hoping that at this moment, anybody who is playing in this class with me, I decided I would use just my regular hand mixer because I felt that probably anybody doing this would have the regular hand mixer. If you have the stand mixer or a KitchenAid mixer, by all means use that, but I thought I would just start with this because it's more likely that everybody has this. So beaters in, not the whisk beaters, but just the regular batter beaters. Batter beaters? Batter beaters that go in your mixer. And then we want a bowl with 1 cup of softened room temperature butter. Now, if you look at the Wilton recipe, you will see that you can also, if you don't want to use butter, you can use shortening. I happen to have Crisco here, even though that's backwards. You can use Crisco. And when you use Crisco, the recipe is really more stable. So as you can imagine, because I don't even know what Crisco is, but it's not butter, you could have it outside in the heat. So it's a really good recipe if you're in one of the warmer climates because it won't melt on you. It's good. But today we're going to use 1 cup of butter and we're going to whip this. So I'm going to take the time right now to whip it. It makes you happy? Good, I'm glad. We're going to whip this, and we want to whip it, even though it won't take long to whip it and make it softer, we want to whip it a little bit longer to make it a little paler in color, because butter is yellow to start with, of course. Hey, how are you? So we're just about to whip our butter. So this will be a little bit noisy, but hang in there, we'll do this. So if everybody wants to whip their 1 cup of softened room temperature butter, you can do that now. I'm just gonna poke it around and see if we can. My butter was out all night, but it's still not very soft. So I'm just whipping it up. And it will get more pale as we whip. So whip away. Whip. Hi. Crispy. A little bit noisy for a minute. So you'll see that it gets a little bit lighter in color. Hello? Cupcakes, yes, that's what we're doing. Okay, so it's a little bit lighter in color. I don't know if you can see that. Buttercream frosting, yes. American buttercream. Thank you. I'm really glad that you guys are sort of keeping each other up on this. This is great. So we've whipped it up and we've made it a little bit lighter in color. And now we're going to add our powdered sugar. If you want to go to an extra effort of sifting this, you can. I'm not too fussed over that. But what I am fussed about is that this is how most people measure. They put it in and they pack it like this, and then they put it into their bowl. And that's not a good way of doing it. We're using 1 cup of butter, and we're going to do 4 cups of icing sugar. So when you dig it in like this and you pat it down, you're actually getting rid of the air in here. So if you were actually to weigh this on a scale, you would find that you had more in here than you need. And that's especially true when you're doing flour. So really, the proper way to do this, and although it does tend to make a mess, especially with icing, confectionery sugar, the proper way to do this is to take a spoon. The point when you take the last, yes, but we are going to do questions. I just don't know if I can catch them all while you're doing it, so I might have to do it a little bit at a time, or you have to just keep asking. So load this up, and then take the flat side of a knife like this and just kind of level it off, but you don't want to push it down. Now I'm using a 1/2 cup because it fits in the bag easier, but we're going to do 8 1/2 cups, which is 4 full cups. So then I'm just going to measure them in here first. I'm not going to measure them into my butter in case I miscalculate. So use your spoon, load up here so that it's overflowing. 1 cup of softened butter to 4 full cups of icing sugar. That's 2. We're doing 8 of these because it's a 1/2 cup. Normally I wouldn't do it quite like this because I'm going to make a big mess here. Somebody keep track for me here because I'll lose count while I'm talking. So I think that's 3. 4, we need 4 more. I'll just tip this down a bit because I am. Bye-bye. Thanks for dropping by. We need 8 of these in total. I think I've done 4, right? Good, thank you. 6. 7. And the last one. Now, quite honestly, this doesn't make that much difference when it comes to icing sugar, but I thought I would show you this because it makes a huge difference if you're doing flour. Always do this method if you're doing flour. See if I can move that out the way without wearing it. So now we have, what are we cooking? We're making icing. We're making buttercream icing. So now we're going to add this. I'm going to add it just a little bit at a time because I don't want to have a big windstorm up here with it. So I'll put a little bit in, we'll mix it a little bit, and then we're going to add a little bit of water. Or milk, whatever you prefer. So go ahead and put it in there and mix up, guys. You're only mixing this enough that you don't end up with a face full of powdered sugar. There's not any requirement for the certain amount of mixes. Don't do it too fast, or you will wear it. Probably. And get the last one in. Now, before I do this next one, mix it, we're going to add a little bit of water because this is going to get too hard for the mixer to do. So, I don't know if you guys have seen these. You don't have to have these at all, but I really like it. This is an Anchor Hawking little glass. I actually got it at the supermarket. They probably carry them everywhere. But the thing that's really cool about this, we'll do the food coloring in a minute. The thing that's really cool about this is it's got tablespoons. Wait till she puts her glasses on so she can see. It's got ounces, milliliters, tablespoons, and teaspoons written right on the side. So instead of having to get a teaspoon or a tablespoon and tipping it in, you can fill this up to it goes right up to 10 tablespoons. So it's really kind of cool. So I've got 2 tablespoons of water in here. You could use milk or you could use cream in here. That's entirely up to you. Makes no difference. So I'm just going to put about half of that in there, and then we're going to have another little mix. See that? She has the same one? Good, yes. And now I'm going to put the rest of it in. So you're putting 2 tablespoons of water or milk in right now. Get that in. We're starting with a small amount because you can never go back. Makes it much harder to have to add sugar if you don't, especially if you don't have any. But we probably will need a little more, but we need our flavoring too. Oh, I missed that. Somebody said something. So we're getting to a frosting stage. It's a little bit thick still now. See, it's still pretty thick. So what we need to remember at this point is that it's still thick, but we're going to put our flavoring in. So this is vanilla. Now this is interesting, but unrelated to cooking. I don't know, because it's backwards, whether you can see this, but see that says clear, C-L-E-A-R. 2 tablespoons of water, yes, that's right. So it says clear, but guess what? When I opened it, I don't think the quality control people were around, as I'll show you. You see that? That is not clear. So I was quite shocked when I opened it, but it's yummy. So I'm putting in 2 teaspoons of, I would prefer clear vanilla, but we don't have clear vanilla here today. So 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So this may still need more water, but we're going to put this in first. Now I prefer the clear vanilla because it doesn't change the color of your icing. This can muddy your icing just a little bit. Didn't know there was such a thing. Yeah, you can find it in Walmart. They have it in the cake decorating section with the bridal stuff. I think it might be imitation, but that's fine. So this should make your icing almost the right consistency. So I can get that to sit there. So this now, it's much softer and about the right consistency that we want. So you can just smooth it, and I'm not using much in the way of pressure. Can you see that? Yeah, milk is fine. You can definitely use milk. You can use cream. I'm just going to clear the sides of this. Now, as I said, this is American buttercream. Any of the work that you see me do, this is not, yes, you can freeze it. And if you use this recipe and you use Crisco and water, it basically lasts forever. It doesn't go off. No, don't use apple juice. No. It basically doesn't go off. The moment you change it to butter, what's the point of the class? What's the point of the class? You don't have water. Do you have milk? Point of the class is to learn how to decorate cupcakes. So if you use the Crisco and water, this will last forever. It's got like no shelf life on it. The moment you put butter or milk in it, then you have to have more care given to it. But definitely Crisco and water make it a really good recipe for the southern warmer climates. So if you've all got, whoever's making this, if you've got this to that stage, then yay. Yeah, spit looks like water, that's fine. As long as you're eating these and not giving them to anybody else, you go feel right ahead, go I use spit. Can we put eggs in this? No, this doesn't have eggs. I didn't put Crisco in. You can use Crisco instead of the butter. So remember, this is the very basic baking class or decorating class. This is not the kind of buttercream that I work with when you see any of my work on my page, but it's a really good one to start. So we'll move into some of the other ones. Just wipe a little bit of this up. A little bit of this. We'll move into some of the other ones, but this is learning how to do it. The proper steps on how to do it. All right, for all you gals and guys out there that are following this class, is everybody good up until this point? Do we have any questions as to how to get our buttercream to this stage? If you're doing it, you followed the host. Thank you. Okay, absolute. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get 2 or 3 bowls. So this is going to be, well, that part really is easy. This part's really going to be up to you, and I can't quite tell you what to do. But I suggested that you bought some food dyes. And we say this buttercream is different. Yeah, this is the American buttercream. I work in Italian meringue buttercream, which is a totally different process. That's cooking it. But we will move into that moving down or moving along. So I don't know whether you bought food dyes, different colors, but we're going to color this right now. So if you did get food colors, I'm going to use a red and a green because I'm going to show you how to make a very basic Christmas one. So let me just get those. So I'm going to put out 3 bowls here, and I'm going to take my frosting here, and I'm going to put a dollop of it in each one. Now I'm going to make red, green, and I'm going to keep one as white. So I divided it up fairly equally. That's a little more equal now. You love it here? Good, I'm glad you love it here. And now I'm using these because once again I thought this is probably more likely what you guys were able to buy if you had to go out and buy them. This is Wilton, and this is green, and this is the Wilton red. Hi Mackenzie. This is the Wilton red. Now this one, you can buy Wilton red and you can buy one that says no taste. They lie. It still tastes. If you Google how, if you Google red icing, most of it comes from a cochinella red ant. That's where they get the dye from, and it's bitter, like really bitter. I found one now. Some of you might know because I've told you before that I use Chef Master. That's the one that I really like better. Anita, yes. Oh, ants, yes. Did I have my glasses on? Yeah, ants. Red cochinella ants. Yeah. But this one says it's got no taste in it, but we're going to try it. It's not so bad when you're using American buttercream because the buttercream is so sweet, and that's why I don't like this buttercream, because it's just, it's like sickly sweet. I can't eat a whole cupcake with American buttercream. But nonetheless, it's what we're doing today because we're learning the basics. So once again, this is just me. My spoons are really smooth on the bottom, so I like to use them in my food dye. You can use toothpicks, whatever you want, but you must never put whatever you're going to use, you must never put it back into this container because it will contaminate it. So I'm going to put this in here, and we'll see how red that gets. So whatever colors you're working with at home, oh, you're not too late. We're still working on it. We've made the buttercream, but we're working on it. So whatever color you bought, if you bought some, you're gonna mix this in. If you didn't buy any colors, that's okay. You can work with white. We'll do that in a minute. Do you need food? Gel food? Yeah. The drops aren't going to do it for you. You can use the drops, but you will find when you do it that this goes pink. You almost will never get it to red. It just doesn't happen. Because they're liquid, they just don't have the color in them. They're diluted with water, right? So you really want and you want it to mix. Doing a good job. You love my earrings? Thank you. Yes, these are my favorite earrings. I wear them every day. I've got 9,000 pairs of earrings and I wear these. I don't know why. I like where they hang, and I like that they face forward. So many earrings turn sideways. So color matures. So if you make this the night before, by morning, yeah, the powdered ones are great. You can use the powdered ones, they're really good. Just not the liquid ones that you get at my hat, yes, that's my other favorite. Not the liquid ones that you buy in the grocery store. See, this is still a little bit pink. It's not quite red, but it's close enough for now. Hi, Helena. Welcome. So we're going to make a little bit of that. Ooh, so sweet. And now I'm going to use the green. I'm going to make some green. There's another spoon. Hi, Sarah. So put some green in here. Did you guys see the meringues I made yesterday on the sticks? Anne-Marie, Faye, hi. Well, maybe baking is calming to watch. I don't know. I never really thought of it as calming, but when COVID hit, everybody went to baking, so maybe it is calming. Maybe that's what I did. Yeah, let me show you them. How's that? Well, these ones, I haven't posted these ones yet, but kind of cool, eh? I'm going to make some more of those. We'll do some, I know, they're fun. We'll do some more. I'm going to put those on a cake, on a Christmas cake. Yeah, they'll be fun. So, the green, mixed it up. Oh, this buttercream. It's not for the faint of heart. Thank you. Not for the faint of heart. It's a nice green though for Christmas, right? Hello, how are you? So, a little bit of red, a little bit of green. And you guys might not know this. We're decorating some cupcakes. But watch this. This is interesting. Hi, Bevel. This is white. This is a little bit not so white, right? So this is called a liquid gel food whitener. About 7 years. You have to give this a good shake because it separates in here. It's not like other food ones. Give it a good shake. And this helps to whiten, if you can undo it. It helps to whiten. See the icing? I actually got this in a store in Toronto called Flower Confections, but you can get it online. And believe it or not, I've actually even seen it. I've seen it in Walmart in a Wilton version, and it's a smaller package. But it does make this more white. So because of the butter in here, I'm good, thank you. Because of the butter in here, and because we used vanilla that was brown, not white, clear, it makes it, yeah, I don't know if you can see, it's getting more white. It's better. I should have left a little comparison pile of icing out, but you might be able to see that it's getting whiter. Can you see that? Vanilla. Vanilla is clear. You can buy it in clear or you can buy it in brown, but I had brown today, not clear. So I'm hoping this is the consistency that you guys have got at the moment. Yeah, I know. Audrey, I don't know if you knew this, whether you were on here when I was showing this, but I bought this. This is beautiful vanilla. It says it's clear, but it's not. It's brown. Yeah, it's totally white now, right? Way better. Silver mix bowl to show the different. I don't have, well, maybe I do. I don't know if you can see. Maybe. But it definitely is. Yeah, that was mislabeled. It was quite a shock to me. So we've got our white. We've got our green that I haven't got quite mixed. Sometimes when I'm doing flowers, I don't really care if it's not really mixed thoroughly, because I always figure leaves and petals and everything. Yeah, it is white now. I always figure that they're not completely the same color all over. But today, I want this more for Christmas. I'm not doing a flower with this green as such. And our red, I'm not really happy with that. It's still, like, I used quite a bit. Let me taste this. Not bad, really sweet. Hang on. Gonna put a little bit of my Old Faithful in my Chef Master that I like better. This will make it a better red. You can just see right away. You see right away the difference in the two reds. Chef Master is just a way better one. I don't know why it took me years to find that. I've only known about Chef Master for probably the last, well, I think since August. Yeah, it's way better. Chef Master should be happy I'm telling everybody to use Chef Master, but they don't know I exist, so. Definitely more Christmassy. Yeah, it's a way better red. It's way better for the roses. When I make roses, it just takes it from night and day, right? It's totally better. Okay, my doggie's sleeping on the couch. I've been cleaning her teeth the last couple of days, so she's not happy with me, but her breath smelled terrible, and I don't know why. Okay, so we're gonna fill a bag now, and we're going to learn how to put a bag together, because some of you, hi Bailey, we're not making cupcakes, we're just decorating them. So I'm gonna show you how to do a bag. So we're going to, I'm going to assume that you've never done it before, and so bear with me if you already know how to do this. I'm going to show you right from the Chef Master Liquid Gel Variety Pack. 12, yeah, perfect. perfect. And on top of that package, I bought Super Red. I bought Super Red in this size, which is it's a big one. It's 10.5 ounces. I bought a Super Red. I bought the white, and I bought a black. So, I don't know whether you guys, I don't know what you've got, but these are the things that I told you can go out and get. So these are really inexpensive. These are called couplers, come in 2 parts. And if you're going to get into cake decorating or cupcake decorating, you need to have a bunch of them. Get yourselves 8 or 10 of these, so you've got these on hand all the time. And they just screw together. If you want to get fancy dancy, then you're going to get yourself these. And these are called quick snap couplers. And they're really 16 bucks, not bad. Yeah, it'll last a long time. So the really thing that's good about this is how fast. Did you do lessons? No, I retired 2 years ago, but before that I did lessons, but it was nothing to do with COVID. The thing that's good about this is that you can take a tip. I'll just demonstrate why I like them better. You can take any one of your tips. Let's pretend this is on a bag. You can take your tip, put it on here, and this just snaps on really easily. So you can almost do this. Mom and brother, aren't you? You can just snap it on really easily. You can almost do it with one hand. So that's really fast, and it's nice to be able to change tips, because you might want to do more than one design in one color. But if you use the regular conventional tips, they still work just the same. But the difference is I now have to screw them on. So it just takes a little bit longer to do this. So whatever you've got is just fine. So what you're going to do, going to take your bag. So get your bag out, ladies and gentlemen. Now this is a 16-inch bag. I really like this size better than the 12. 12 inches may very well be what you bought, because those are the standard. There's nothing wrong with them, but when you get into as much cake decorating as I do, I like this size. So you buy the Russian tips? Yeah, well, Russian tips are awesome, almost. All right, so now we've got our bag, and I'm going to use just this sort, so that I'm guessing that might be what you have. So you put the end in and kind of measure. Now you have to be careful here. Cut this off in small bits, because if you cut too much, you've ruined your bag. Just cut the tip off. Oh, I did that perfectly. I probably couldn't do that again. Hi, Claire. Couplers, C-O-U-P-L-E-R. So that just fits. So I have the coupler in the bag, right? Now, if you bought the tips that I asked you to get, I want you to get the little bird's tip. This one is the one I call the bird's beak, and this one is 352, I think. It's that shape. Put it on top. So the coupler's in the bag, the tip's on top, and then screw it on. Like that. So I'm hoping you're at that stage. Just set that aside, and then get C-O-U-P-L-E-R. You're missing the O there. Is it Mina? C-O-U, coupler. So get another bag, and this time I want you to take your tip This one's called the 1M. Take this one out. Coupler, that's it. Take this tip out. Now this is a big one. And this big one, I don't use couplers with it. But I still need to cut that little bit off the top. And then we're just going to poke it right in there. So it's like that. Why don't we use a coupler? Because the tip is the wrong size. It doesn't fit the couplers. We're making cupcakes. So this is the 1M coupler. We're making cupcakes. Now those two pieces that you cut off, throw them away because they'll stick to your icing like crazy. Cool tip for that, okay? So let's hope that you guys are at that stage. So we're gonna work with this one first. Better than the cupcakes? Good. Hi. Maya, is it? Hi. So you've got this one in here. And go get a glass if you don't have a glass already. And then you're going to take your bag and put it in the glass. Like that. It's just sitting in the bag. Thank you, Sarah. Mayan. Oh, yeah. Mayam. Ah. Hi. So now we've got our bag. We've got our tip in our bag. Are you guys ready for me to move on from there? Are you okay with that much? Hi. Great work. You're awesome at your job. Thank you. Drawing stuff join. Oh, I don't know what that says. Cupcakes. Awesome, giving us all those good tips. Good. Yes. All right. Cool. All right, now let's take the red icing if you have it. Oh, no, that's my iPad, and I got a keyboard on it. So I just, thank you for appreciating me. I just prop it open. So now take your frosting, whatever color you have made. I'm hoping you've got red or pink, or because this is a flower we're doing, right? Just not the green if you can avoid it. Not the end of the world if you can't. And then just bring the bag up. And you should have something that looks similar to that. Yes, this is buttercream. Yeah. We're going to squeeze it down. So I twist this. So just twist it and squeeze it down gently. Did you see that? Now we're going to talk about holding the bag. And this is the key to being able to do what I do. Lots of people use two hands, and you shouldn't. They squeeze here, and they try and do this. None of that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your bag, and you're going to hold it between your thumb and your finger. So everybody hold your bag like that. Okay? Now twist your bag. I don't care what direction, just twist it. So that the bag's got tension on it. So having tension on it is what causes the pressure to come out without you having to use this hand to squeeze. Doing good decorating, this is the technique that you have to have. Because if you don't get the bag right, you're going to struggle. Now, so it doesn't come out the top, if you've got enough bag left, I just wrap it over one of my fingers. If there's another way you can hold that part. And then just tighten it up a little bit more. Just keep tightening it. Now you should be able to squeeze with these 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3. Because this one's occupied for me because it's got hold of that. Now, do you guys want me to start from the beginning at that? This is a 16-inch bag, but a 12 works fine. You just don't have all this over the top. Do you want me to go back and show you how to do that again, or do you have it in your hand like that now? Do it again? All right. Okay, so here's the bag. We've got the icing in here. So the first thing we're going to do, holding it down here, you're holding it between your thumb and your forefinger. And then twist. Just keep twisting so you've got a nice tight twist. Okay? So you've got a nice tight twist. Then close your hand down on it. Now I take it and I put it over that finger. If you've got enough bag left over, and then twist it tighter, because what you want is this bag to be really tight and under pressure. You're not going to decorate, you're not going to squeeze the bag with your left hand at all. Okay, get a cupcake by circulation. Yeah, that's why I have arthritis in my fingers. Get a cupcake. Now, we're going to do the very basic rose swirl. And this starts in the center, moving to, it's coming out. Hold it over the bowl then, or you mean mine. It starts at the center of the cupcake and it goes around to the outside edge. So I suggest you watch me do one, and after I do it, then you guys can have a go. So I hang on to the cupcake because I like to turn the cupcake a little bit too. So I hang on to it like this. That part's sort of up to you. And I'm going to start in the center and I'm going to give a big squeeze. Now remember I said I'm squeezing with these fingers. And I give a nice pump. So you get a fair bit on here. And then moving to the outside, I just twirl it around the outside, squeezing with my little fingers. These fingers, see the indentation there? So that I have a rose. Okay, do you guys want to try that? Now what I'm going to do, I'll do it with you. I'm just going to take it off of there. We'll talk about the frosting recipe again after. Okay, so put it in my hand between those two fingers, twist it, put it over my finger and keep twisting. Start in the center and give a big squeeze and move around the outside. Yes, it saved you. So that's what it should look like. So how are you guys doing there? Did you manage to get that? I wish you could show me. Give me the heads up if you think you got something similar or you got the concept. And just remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Tip was at 1M. It turned out great. Perfect. Thanks. I might use this one day with the extra cupcake. Me personally, I give them to neighbors. Okay, so put down your red icing bag and get that glass back. And if you manage to get this one together that we did before, this is the one with the, I think it's 352. It's perfect, great. This is the little beak, right? You've got that. Put that in the cup. And if you had green icing or another one, I don't know what colors you're working with, but if you had green, I'm just going to put a little bit in here because I want this for something else. push it down, twist it so it gets the pressure on it, wrap it around the finger. Now this is the important part of this tip. You have to be holding it like that. You have to have the tip like a little bird's beak. It can't be sideways or it won't work. You have to think about a little bird eating, so it's got to be up and down like that. Yes, the buttercream recipe will be coming. So now, if you take your rose and that spot where you finished your swirl, you put the tip, you see that? Just like the bird's beak. And again, we're only squeezing with these fingers. And you're going to do a slight little pumping. I'm hoping it works well for you too. You can do a slight little pumping back and forth, ever so slightly. So you squeeze and pump, just tiny little bit of pump. And then let go. And you'll get a pretty little leaf. I'm going to do one more. Squeeze. Like that. You kind of did it. How's that? So there's like a Christmas rose. It worked. That's awesome. Can I save icing cream in the fridge? And you can leave it on the counter. This stuff is good. It's good for a long time. Thank you so much. Doesn't that look good? Oh my goodness. I'm glad you like that. All right, so we have our red rose. We're going to put that there. Now, I'm thinking you guys might have a dozen cupcakes, so why don't you do 2 roses? So you've got at least 2 roses. I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. I'm glad it was helpful. Now, I'll chat for a little bit while I'm assuming that you guys are doing those. The buttercream recipe, I don't think it's on my website yet, but I'll put it up on the website. And last night, I'm happy to report that I found out how to put ingredients in a list rather than one long line. But this is, as I said, this is the most basic American buttercream recipe. And I'll probably give you 2 versions on my website. One's called American Buttercream, and the other one's called Classic Crusting Buttercream. And the crusting buttercream, it's really good if you want to get into cake decorating because it gets hard to the touch on the outside. TastyEntertaining.com. I'm going to see, I'll see if I can edit any of this and put it on YouTube or something. I'm not sure. I'm really not good with any of that. I'm still working on it. I need somebody to do it. Hey from Ontario, I think you've got good weather there today. Anything that's like that. You gave me 624. Your second rose came out perfect. Yay, that's my plan. I want to give you stuff that you can walk away with successful day one, because it's so much more exciting if you can actually do something and realize, hey, but you'll also realize that maybe I'm not as talented as you think I am. I'm from Toronto. But you'll say hi to Tay-Tay. It's going to take me a while to get everything organized from, keep going? All right, take a while for me to get everything going from an internet perspective, whatever, you know. All right, you don't need to do this. From Japan. Hi, Macy. Have I met Drake? Oh, I've been at a lot of stuff Drake's been at, but I haven't met him. My daughter's friend did his, what's the name of his telephone video that he did. Leaf tip, I think it was, what is it, $2.52? It's on my list. Hang on, I gotta put my glasses on. Do I do this full time? No. You can fill piping bags again if you're using them. Oh, here it is. Oh, that's not where it is. Wait a minute. Oh, it's right in front of me. $3.52. I get the two of them confused. The leaf tip is, yeah, hot bling. Yeah, hotline bling. Yeah. She cut his video for him. So I was almost there. Almost close. I don't reuse piping bags because it's just a pain in the butt to clean them. That's all. But certainly today I would be using it. I'd fill them again. Wait a second while I get another one. Now I bought myself a bunch of the ones that I told you to buy. Those are the basic ones, but I use them a lot and I don't want to have to keep stopping and washing. Like for instance, this bag has got the tip I want in it. I don't want to empty that bag of the icing, so I have another one. You guys might not have that today, so you might be stuck with having to empty the bag or just do this in whatever color you're doing. Because, as I said, it's not the end of the world. Open the thing behind me? My fridge? That's my fridge. You don't need my fridge open. So I'm going to cut the little tip off. Throw it away. Going to get my bag. Don't do this. But I can't get it open. These are my cupcakes, so. Keep going. Okay. So put it in. Now I'm going to put the green icing in here. I just fell down there. Bam. It's going to make a sticky mess for me. United Arab Republic. Cool. It's very cool. It's pretty awesome to have people all over the world, isn't it? Here we are. So, push the icing down, turn the bag lots of times, get it tight, take that bag between my finger, those two fingers, wrap it around my finger. From Winnipeg, hey, Kentucky? Yeah, technology is a wonderful thing. So now it's tight, so you can tell because it's coming out. Now, the way that we did this, we started in the center and we worked our way to the outside edge. This time, I'm going to start from Kuwait. Hey, cool. I'm going to start from the outside edge and work into the center because I'm going to make like a Christmas tree. And you can do this. This is a really good finish for the top of the cakes. As you do cakes, you'll see this. So this time, I'm not twisting the cupcake, so the cupcake can stay right there. Just hang on to it. Squeezing with these fingers, starting on the outside edge, and I'm going to squeeze. We're using our imagination here a little bit. And just keep coming around. It's going to look somewhat similar, except we're going to keep coming. And then release. And I'm going to pretend that's like a little Christmas tree. You want to try that? My little Christmas tree. Hello. The top of mine looks funny. Funky, okay. Well, sometimes that happens, and, oh, thank you, my tummy. Sometimes that happens. 35K, really? Holy crow. Sometimes that happens, but here's a trick. Let me show you now. I didn't plan on this. Oh, I didn't plan on this for today, but I'll show you. I made some little white kind of stars for something else, but you can put a little star in your Christmas tree. And if you have any icing left over, icing sugar. Actually, one of you guys suggested this the other day. This wasn't my suggestion. Little pearls, yes, little pearls will make it work. This wasn't my suggestion, but it worked really well, so whoever it was. And of course, I'm making a huge mess here, but that's okay. Just a little bit of the icing sugar on top of the cupcake can make it very Christmassy. Yeah, a little dusting. So we can have a little rose, we can have a little Christmas tree. Yes, it does. Putting them, it totally is cleaner that way, much cleaner. Second try and it worked a lot better. Good. Well, if you can get something out of 2 tries and them not be bad, you're doing really well. Sprinkles, perfect. Absolutely. Or glitter, of course. You can never have too much glitter. Yeah, it does look a little bit like a starfish. Maybe I should have put it around, poke it around a bit. Oh, you put too much liquid in your icing? Okay, that's why you do it very, very slowly. A poinsettia. Well, it's funny you mentioned the poinsettia, because that's what we're going to do now. So let me get the stuff for the poinsettia. All right, so you know that green leaf tip? Pretty poinsettia. Poinsettia? Yeah. Get this green leaf tip. You need this one. I don't know if that means you've got to wash it up or if you happen to have more than one, and that's why I like more than one. I'm going to cut the end off my bag. I'm actually going to use this coupler in here today. Did anybody buy that kind of coupler? Do you need me to show you how to do that, or are you all right with that? Okay, we're going to put the red icing. I have to squirt some of my red icing out of here. Put the red icing in there. Thank you for following the host. And green. So ideally, you want a bag filled with green and a bag filled with red with the same tips on them to do the poinsettia. Easy one last year. Poinsettia, really. It's me making a mess trying to demonstrate. Who am I kidding? I make a mess all the time. Yes, it looks like a bird's beak. That's right. Good one. So now we have 2 bags. Yeah, I have icing everywhere too. So we have 2 bags. They're both the same. They've got both the same tip in it. You're used to making a mess. That's good because and we're going to start with our cupcake. And the green, just push it down, twist it. You're holding it just between your thumb and your forefinger. Wrap it around, twist it some more if you need to. Make sure that's nice and tight. And remember, we're holding it the way a bird would eat. Up and down. Hold the cupcake in your hand, and we're going to draw some leaves around the outside. Okay, you got it. Great. So you're going to just watch this maybe first. So you're going to squeeze and pump a little bit and pull out. And then we're going to go around the cupcake like that. Just like that. Give it enough squeeze so that they get fat enough. The amount you squeeze is the amount that will come out. Just pump, squeeze, and come out. Squeeze and come out. That brought us all the way around. That's what we've got. Oh, that's my dog. She wants to go out. To lay in the sun. Wait 1 second. You want to go out? Okay. Oh, she wanted to go out so she can bark. All right, so now I'm going to take the red one. Hold it like that. Mine turned out well. Good, good. Great, Winnie. Tighten it up. Now, yeah, she's on the balcony. So this time, we're going to put these petals in between where the leaves were and a little closer to the center. So I'm going to start here and squeeze and pull out. And squeeze and pull out. In the center, you won't get as many leaves this time round, but that's the plan. Your dog is barking now. She can probably hear Ruby. And one more. So like that. So I'm going to have to tighten the bag up. Now this time, when I do it, I'm going to hold my piping bag, instead of quite so flat, I'm going to hold it a little more upright. Because if you remember, poinsettias have a tiny little, smaller leaves or smaller petals. So I'm going to make it smaller and stand them upright a bit. So smaller and upright. Oh my goodness. So it ends up looking like that. Sorry, I have to stop her barking. I don't want her upsetting the neighbors. Ruby! I don't know what you're barking at. Get in here. No, come. 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 Good girl. Go lie down. I don't know who she thinks she can see, but she thinks she can see somebody. So why don't you guys, it works so well. Oh, good. That's great. Why don't you guys do a couple of these, because they're not quite finished. We have to do the center on them, but I want you to go that far on it so that we end up with 2 roses and 2 Christmas trees and 2 poinsettias. Her 5 minutes of fame. Yeah, let it be. So do that. You love me. Thank you. Did you guys buy this tip? Or did you have this tip? I get the 2 of them confused with their numbers. This one's 233. Ruby's 5. She's a doodle. I don't know why she's so small. She just is. Yeah, okay. So this is what we're going to use for our center. So I'm going to take my mess here. I need another bag. Cut that bit off the end. Throw it in the garbage. You'll be just as talented by the time you're done. Good. Put the coupler in. How many of you are going to forget how to put the coupler in? Most of my students always forgot how to put that in. They always try to put it in backwards. So, putting the grass tip on, or the hairy tip, whatever. I'm going to get the bag. Now, by rights, I think we should do this with a little tiny bit of yellow to make it look really good. I don't know how many colors you have, so if you don't have yellow, we'll just use white and pretend today. What are you allergic to in icing? Because icing's made of all different things. I could probably tell you how to make icing that you weren't allergic to. So we'll do the white icing. Okay, let's use the white. So the centers of poinsettias, I think they're usually yellow, but for purposes of today, we'll do white and it'll be fine. So push the icing down the bag, twist it. There's such a thing as sugar-free frosting that actually tastes good. You're allergic to vanilla. Well, you leave the vanilla out. So twist it around. And yes, you don't have to, you can use, what's the name of the sugar substitute? That'll work too. Okay, so we've squeezed it. And now you're going to actually very carefully touch the icing. Touch the top of the cake very gently. Oops. My bag hasn't got enough pressure. There. Touch it. Whoop. Sorry, I have to use two hands on here because it's tight. That one fell over just a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Healthy sugar. So just squeeze that out like that. So let's see if I can throw together one more of those. The tips are already posted on both my website and on TikTok. If you go down to the post that talks about coming to class today, the tips that you need are on there. Okay, so I'm going to make one more poinsettia. Oh, need the green one first. And using it sideways, I'm doing the... Now you can make bigger poinsettias and smaller poinsettias. One of the things that we didn't touch on is all of these tips. It's a family of tips. So this tip is a 352. It will be a bigger one or a smaller one if it's 351, 352, 353, 54. They go up in numbers to make them bigger or smaller. So if you want ones that are bigger, you just buy the same style and a little bit bigger. Okay, so now I'm doing the poinsettia tip, leaf. Round one, and I'll do it a second time. Like that. And then, where's that white tip? Maybe people actually doing this right now could duet you. That's a terrific idea. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes. Duet me, guys. I'll put one up and then you can duet me. Or you can put it up and then I'll duet you. I have to use two hands with this because my icing is a little stiff. Great, my icing's just a little bit stiff. And because of the arthritis in my hand, I can't push it out, but you shouldn't have to. There we are. Winnie Harper, we'll look for it for sure. Tag us, make sure you tag us so we get it all. That's a great idea, I love that. You guys are full of such great ideas. So now you should have 2 roses. I think you did 2 roses. You're gonna do 2 poinsettias. Oh yeah. Okay. So I want to just show you what I was talking about. Find it. I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Maybe it's in use. Maybe I can't find it. Can't find exactly what I was looking for, but oh yeah, I can. Here it is. I organized myself into oblivion. I get too organized. So what I was saying was this tip, this bird's tip that we just used, you can buy it in this size. You see the difference in size? So this great big tip, if you wanted to do a bigger poinsettia, you just buy this in a bigger one. And it does exactly the same thing. So they just come in different sizes. So this one, boy. Yeah, I pulled everything out I thought we used today, and then I go running to the wrong spot. So this is a 363, and this is a 352, but they're the same, exactly the same, but one makes bigger petals than the other. So when you go to the store, you can look for that if you want to get bigger ones. I don't have sets, I've just got a million. Okay, to do the rose, I'm going to do a rose for you if you missed it. Then we're going to go back to the white. Turn, 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 turn. Yes, we're going to see about doing this lesson. I'll have to see how much editing there is that if I can make it work on YouTube. So the rose, this is the red. We're using the 1M, and it starts with a big squeeze in the center. And then it moves to the outside, and you twist the cupcake slightly in your hand, like that, if that helps. And then what I did was I took the green and I just piped a little leaf or two on it. Stop making it look easy. Sorry, I'll do it with one hand behind my back. So we have 2 roses. I didn't do 2 Christmas trees here because I don't have a lot of icing yet. Now, where did I put the white? Where's the vanilla? All right, this is another flower for you guys. So get your white icing. This is another tip that was on the list that I asked you to get. It's called the 104 Wilton. Got that one? The 104. And put it on your bag of the white icing, whatever coupler you're using. Until you decorate. She venom. Ooh. Thanks for following me, guys. So you've got TikTok. Never knew I can swipe to skip the comments. Oh, no, I didn't either. Huh. I think I knew that day one, but never thought about it since. That's a good thing to remember. Thank you for that. So we're going to use this one, and we're going to use this, I call this a teardrop. It's a petal leaf. We're going to use this with the petal, the widest teardrop part down at the bottom. So hold your bag like I showed you. Squeeze it down between the thumb and the forefinger. Wrap it over your finger if you can and twist. And twist enough, this is when it really cuts off the circulation on your finger. It's called the 104. And you have to twist it and hold it until you get it so that the teardrop is down at the bottom. Yes, teardrops. It's the 104 teardrop petal leaf. Now this might take just a little bit of practice, but you will get this one, and it's a nice one to have. I guess they all take a little bit of practice. So this one, first time I've used a piping bag. I know. That's why I like these. I've gone through all sorts of different brands of piping bags. Some of them, I thought all piping bags were created equal. I'm just going to stop and talk about this for a second. I thought all piping bags were created equal, but they're not, because some of them are very, very thin and they pop. Some of them have seams on like 4 sides and they're a pain. Some of them are so thick that you can't wrap them around your finger or hold them very well, or they're slippery. But that's why I like these, because they've got a bit of texture to them on one side and they're thin. So yes, these are good. And these are called Truly Mad Plastics. Okay, so now, hanging onto your bag properly, hanging onto your cupcake, And you can watch this, don't do it yet. You're going to start in the center of the cupcake with the teardrop part down. And I don't know what kind of an angle that is, a 45-degree angle maybe. Start at the center and squeezing up here. I squeeze and bring it out to the edge of the cupcake liner. Hello, darling. Very important that your bag be tight for this. Yes, I'll bring them all back, all the cupcakes back for you to see in a second. Then starting at the center, squeezing with my right hand, bring the bag out and back. Right? Out and back. Oh, look at this. There's a little hole in this bag. The reason there's a hole in this bag, I thought I did it when I put the grass tip in. I felt it puncture the side. So this is not the bag's fault, this is the operator's fault. Like that. That's why it's screening it, but I'm going to see if I can get this all done once. It's having an aneurysm. Squeeze and just go out, squeeze. Be nice if it wasn't leaking all over the counter. Just if we can get this done. There we are. So that's what that looks like. So you guys can go ahead and try that. Yes, you can cover it with duct tape, but chances are it'll pop out somewhere else unless it's a hole like this one that I actually punctured. Even Scotch tape might do it. And then what I usually do to finish these, like gardenia, yeah, I know the table, look at it. I usually put a leaf in because I like all my flowers to have a little leaf. Not too many, but just a little one. And what can we use? What do I have left for? We have another bag of, I'm going to get the green, or the white. All right, here's a little trick. I'm going to change the tips. I'm going to put this grass tip on the green one. This is why you want to be able to change your tips from one bag to the other. So we're going to put a little green center. And now once again, this would probably be yellow if I was doing it, but this will look fine. So they just stand up, a little gardenia. What do you think? Now, let me see if I can make a piece of, yes. Where was that hole? Piece of Scotch tape work, maybe. Let's see if Scotch tape will work. I don't know if it'll work. Let's see. Oh. I either didn't cover it or there were two places it was coming out. See if it works. Very important your bag be tight for these. How are you guys doing out there? How are you? Yeah, no, this one's struggling with the, it's coming out underneath the bag, look. Hi, the best user. We're gonna have a big pop here any second. I made it. I made it. but I got a handful of it now. Hang on. I live in Vancouver, Canada. What does the tightening of the bag do? The tightening of the bag puts pressure on it so that you don't have to squeeze it with your hand. It's just under pressure. Isn't there a song about that? Under pressure? So I'm changing that tip and putting the leaf tip on so that I can put my little leaf. So squeeze the little leaf on, like that. Loving the earrings, thank you. What time is it here? It's 2:30. 2:30? Been down here an hour and a half. Learn new stuff every time you're on here, that's great. Good baking day. Yes, thank you. Having a good baking day. I'm making a nice big mess. Look at this. This is icing. Icing that I don't want there. Hello. Christmas everything. Oh, that should be my name. Christmas everything. We're making Christmas cupcakes. This is my Panama hat. 3-hour difference. Where are you? You're on the eastern seaboard. Must be beautiful by the water today. I went out for a walk this morning with Ruby, but when I'm done here, I will be taking her out for her second little walk. So I don't know where you guys are, how many cupcakes you've got left, or have you done them all? Ontario, 5:30. Yeah, my daughter's in Ontario. Cleveland. So I'm going to do another swirl here. We haven't used all the tips today. I don't want to give you too much in one day. But this one, I don't know who's going to eat these. We just got shut down at 10 o'clock last night by our the COVID. When I was playing with stuff, you might have seen this. Might have seen me. I posted these on line a couple of days ago. I thought they might be kind of cute, just stuck on a cupcake. They're just made out of candy melt. I use that stuff all the time for little decor. Every day. Yeah, usually I just walk over to the neighbors, but we were told, I don't know if I can do this with what's left over. This is not my favorite icing. This is my least favorite icing that we're working with, but it's the best one to start with. I don't know if I can do this with this. This is another way to use that 1M tip, but the icing is a bit uncooperative. See if I can build it up here, like whipped. I use Italian meringue buttercream in all of my stuff. That's kind of what I'm known for. It's like my signature. I don't even know if I got enough in here. You know, yeah, this is not really going to work very well. But when you have something that doesn't work quite as well as what you want, I've been doing it for about 8 years. No, I haven't used vegan buttercream. That's a good time to use those little snowflakes. Let me grab another one. So I always say the nice thing about, just put that on there. The nice thing about baking, you can eat your mistakes, right? So I have, let me wipe my fingers. I I have 3 cupcakes left. I don't know if I have that much icing left. Let's see what we can pull out. What have you guys got left in the way of icing, if anything? Cupcakes. Do you have anything left? Where did the white go? When are you doing your favorite meringue? Probably week 4 of this, because it's a lot more involved. I don't know what I'm going to do with these cupcakes. That is a very good question. I'm tipping this vanilla in here. As I started to say, normally I would just walk down to the neighbors and say, here, but yesterday we got told by Bonnie Henry, who is our health, I might have one. I think I might have a vanilla cake recipe. Use it on my website. I'm just starting to populate it, so if there's anything in particular that you guys want, you'll have to hit me up somehow. At 10 o'clock last night, we were told that as of 10 o'clock last night, we are no longer, for 2 weeks, allowed to have anybody in our house that doesn't live here. So I don't know that anybody's going to want me to go over with cupcakes. I'll have to leave them outside their door or something. I'm just mixing the little bit of white that I had left and green, just to get rid of it. It's a slightly lighter color, but it'll be all right. Knock on the neighbor's door and run. That's what I'll do. I'll go. Oh, I had a tiny bit of red there I didn't realize I had. But I don't think I can mix a red and a green. That isn't going to work. So what do I need? I need a bag. Think again. Does that? Because you're sick? No, I'm not sick. Nobody can. Nobody allowed to. No, I'm not sick. I'm healthy. Put it over the top. And plunk the icing in. I don't know if this will do all 3, but what a mess. This one I'm going to do, no, I don't have that recipe. Is there, don't like buttercream, there's a lot of sugar in it. Do you agree? In this, yes there is, but in my Italian meringue there is not. That's why it's so good. So this one I'm starting from the outside. We're going to do that sort of Christmas tree style, except I'm not going to go too tall because I don't have much icing. Maybe this one I won't even do that. I'll start at the center because I'm just going to run out of icing and I want the last cupcake to be covered. How about a green rose? With 1M. Using the 1M. Just doing that with it. Have a few little, you should put you should put sprinkles on it for lights. So there you go. I thought we'd put a few sprinkles on it. Good planning, eh? Good planning. What a team we are. And I think I'm even going to put some sprinkles on the roses. You have a question? Okay. I don't really have a star. I'm going to put this one on as a star. What's your question? This is your favorite part, the question part, or the sprinkle part? I think I'm going to put a few sprinkles even on the red roses over here. Christmas sprinkles all around. Did somebody say they had a question? Are we waiting for the question? Oh, why do bakers put buttercream on the cake spinner before decorating the cake? Oh, I think you mean on the turntable. Is that what you're talking about? They put a little bit of buttercream down to hold the cake in place. It's like the glue while they're decorating so it doesn't slide off. I think that might be what you mean. If it's not, let me know. All right, let me wipe the counter. Yes. Let me wipe the counter and then we'll put these all back in a row so you can have a look at them all. Then we'll do a Q&A and we'll talk about next week. If you want to come back for next week. Yes, stability. Absolutely. Do you use clear piping gel? Sometimes, if I'm doing a particular diagram or something that I have to copy. I'm a good teacher, thank you. When do you go live? We'll do it again the same time next week. I'm going to get into the habit of that for the next few weeks. We're going to do 1 o'clock next Sunday. So, move that. Good thing with all the licking of my fingers and that these have not got a home. You'll be there? Great. All right, so these are the ones that we've done. And I'll take some pictures of these. This is what your dozen cupcakes will be like. Yeah, I thought if I tried to keep it at the same time for class 1. Have a nice week. Thank you. I'll probably be live again sometime during the week because I've got a cake to make anyway. 1:45 for me. 1:45 a.m. Yeah, you might not want to be back. All right, so let's talk about next week for those that want to be involved. Hang on. Let me see. So we covered everything I wanted to cover today. Okay, except I want to cover simple syrup keeps your cake moist. Next week we're going to do a similar kind of thing, but we're going to do a cake. It's almost 5 o'clock there. We're going to do, yeah, we're going to do 1 o'clock again. Yeah, next live is going to be a cake. But I want to go over, I'm just going to move these out the way. I want to show you before you leave, unless you already know, I want to show you how to prepare a pan. And then I'm going to suggest that you buy a cake mix, because we're not going to learn how to do actual baking this round. We're going to do decorating right now, so I don't want you to be struggling with baking and cake decorating. So go buy a cake mix. Get a Betty Crocker cake mix or a Duncan Hines cake mix. Buy 2 boxes. And I'm going to write this on a list for you, but I just want to show you now. Buy 2 boxes. And buy the ingredients that it tells you to make the cake, because you're going to make that cake and bring it to our class next Sunday at 1. And let me show you what you need. So 2 pans, the same size. They can be 8 inches or 9 inches, I don't care. But 2 pans, both the same. Then you need some parchment paper, not wax paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of parchment paper, and you're going to draw around the outside edge of the parchment paper, or the pan. Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut that circle. I don't use cake mixes, do it myself, that's fine. If you can make a cake on your own, I just want it to be easy for you. So I'm just doing this very roughly to show you what I want you to do. Because this is how you're going to bake your cake. You're going to smear a little bit of oil on the pan or spray it, making sure you get all of the walls and the bottom. You're going to put your parchment paper down, and then you're going to put your cake in here, and you're going to bake 2 of them and bring them to class just like this, in the pan. Don't take them out of the pan. If you want to bake that cake Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and put it in the freezer, wrap it up in the pan, wrap it up, bring it like that. I'm in Vancouver, so I'm Pacific Standard Time. So if it's 1 here, it's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard. Where are you? So that's what you're going to bring to class next week, along with a double recipe of that buttercream I gave you. So instead of it being 1 cup of butter, it'll be 2 cups of butter. It'll be 8 cups of icing sugar, but let me give you one nice little bit of news. One of these bags, okay, so 4 o'clock is probably your time. Hamilton, yeah, that's 4 o'clock. One of these bags, a one kilo bag, is this a kilo? Yeah, a 1 kilo bag is the right amount for 1 whole pound of butter. So 1 of these and a pound of butter. So that's your double the recipe. I will put everything up on a post on TikTok and either direct you to my website if I think that there's too much information for TikTok. And we will be decorating our first cake together, and we're going to be doing the whole cake. We're going to put it together, and we're going to ice it together next Sunday at 1. Yes, I'm going to post a bunch of it. I'm not sure how much of this, but a bunch of it. Okay. Okay, if you don't have to be there, but how are the cupcakes flat? Flat? Where? You mean on the bottom? Not quite sure what that means. 2 cups of butter, 4 cups of, no, 2 cups of butter, 8 cups of sugar. 1 cup of butter, 4 cups of sugar. Next Sunday at 1. Are there any other questions? Oh, thank you. I appreciate you turning up. That's a lot, yes. To do a whole cake though, you see. How do you get a flat top and not round? Oh, I see. The top of the... only fill your cupcake up about just over half. Don't do too much, and then it just comes up to the top. Okay, so we're all done here for anybody that wants to ditch us. If it has a dome on cupcakes, that's just fine. It's not fine on a cake, but it's fine on cupcakes. Can we see them? Oh, the meringue trees? Yes, hang on. I gotta make some more of these in a minute. Different ones, different colors. I got plans for different ones. I want to use different tips. I was just kind of playing yesterday with it. Oh, you want to know how to do these too? Oh, you want to know this too? I don't know what the question was. These are all. I got this stand in the dollar store. Thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, just past the halfway mark. Don't fill it up much, and it just comes up to the top. But I don't mind a domed cupcake. Domed cupcakes work well for cake decorating, cupcake decorating. It's cakes that don't work well when they're domed. Can I eat one? I'm not going to eat one of those, but what I will eat, I had a few little pieces left over, so. Nice crunch. Is buttercream the best for cake decorating? Well, it is if you get to use the buttercream that you will do in week 4. Right now we're doing American buttercream, which I find overly sweet. And it's really a different consistency, but it's really good to practice with. And if you guys have got any buttercream left over, you can leave it on your counter and it'll be fine next week. You just still need the volume that I just told you about for next week. I'm perfect? No, I don't think so. Yeah, well, thank you. I'm glad about that. We can use more wholesome in our life right now. Okay, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thanks for coming out, and I'll be back. I've got a cake to do for a 50th birthday during the week, so I'll be doing that. I'm not sure what day, probably Wednesday maybe. I'll be doing that, and other than that, I'll be posting stuff, lots of stuff. I'm always looking for stuff, always playing with stuff, and I'll be moving into Christmas decorating really, really soon. I love you. Thanks. Bye. Thank you.